Go again.
Oh, hi. All right, I got cut off. But anyway, when you are done, you're going to revisit and revise your mixed media project. I myself need to do this activity. So you would read what are the options. Number one, you could print out a picture of your object and trace it onto your work several times. Make sure to overlap the objects. Fill the entire background. You should use the graphite paper to trace. I just showed you how to do that. Make sure to add shading. So maybe use a pencil or a charcoal or marker, whatever, but shading, dark to light. Draw your object loosely. Gesture to start anyway. And make sure that you draw it so large that it touches 3 out of 4 sides of the paper. Mine was close. My bird was drawn large enough that it touches this side, and this side. Now granted, it doesn't totally touch the bottom, but it's close enough to count for enlarging. 3, here's another option. Create an abstract design of your object using Sharpies or regular markers. Make sure to fill the whole background. I started to do that right here. That's not realistic, but it looks cool. Starting to anyway. It's an abstract design. 4, write a poem about the story of your artwork and creatively include it into your work. It could also just be a statement or a phrase, but tell your story with actual words, but be creative with how you write the words. Do you need to type it up on the computer and print it out so you have different fonts and trace it? Do you need to look at one of our many resources and find a book that will help you? I'm not sure. That's up to you. But write it neatly. Don't just write it with your normal everyday handwriting. 5, thicken all the lines with a Sharpie to create an outline. Next, add some shading and coloring. So I didn't do that too much, but I did start to thicken some of the thinner lines. I might do a little bit more of that. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at your art. You're going to have it in front of you when you're needing something to do. And you're going to look at this chart and you are going to pick one option of what you're going to do today and Thursday. So this is going to carry over to Thursday. This paper is a 15-point formative assessment. But what's exciting about it is that you will get your 15 points, up to 15 points, based on what you do, number 1. Number 2, fix up your artwork because you all need to do stuff to it. Nobody quite took enough risks to get there. And number 3, you'll get more points added onto your project. So let's say I make this a lot better by Thursday or Friday, by the end of the week. And I get all 15 points under my categories for craftsmanship, overall improvement, and the object is clearly the focal point. Those are your goals. If I get all 15 points, I would get a 15 out of 15 formative assessment and an additional 15 points onto my project. If I was to grade myself, I'd give myself an 85. It's definitely not 100, it's not done. But if I put a lot more effort into it, I could end up with 100. So you guys have a lot of time. You have today, you've got next class, and I want you guys to use your time wisely so that you can improve your art, improve your grade, which you all need to do, or most of you need to do, and just feel like you know how to go back and revise. I was telling some of my students today that I have 5 paintings at home that are just sitting there that need a little bit of revision. I have to go back in and work on them. I needed a break from them, so I put them away. Sometimes you gotta do that. You guys had a little break from this. We did another activity. It's time to bring them back out because they're not art show ready yet. This will help everybody's grade. If you don't do it, you don't improve your grade and you get a 0 out of 15 for this formative assessment. I need these in your binders, and then you're going to hand this in to me with your project, and I'm gonna go to turn it in, look at your project, and see what you did originally and what you did to improve by the end of the week. Good luck, get it done.